Or this also into the like to share how to create multiple progress bar in Excel. Let's move to Visual Basic. Insert a user form to design the progress bar. Since we have 3 sets here, which means that we need 3 progress bars. So what we have to do here is just make use of labels to show the progress bar. For each progress bar, we need 2 labels. One serves as the base. For the base, we change to white color and delete the caption and change the special effect to sunken. Then next, we just have to drag, copy, and paste. Make use of the control key, and this one we will put right on top of the previous label. If let's say we want to differentiate clearly, we can resize so that we can see how many labels already have here. Then remember to change the color to different color according to our own preference. For the special effect, we just have to change to rise. If let's say we want to show the process, how many percent left or how many percent to go, then we can insert another label. For this, we just have to change the font according to our preference. So let's say Times New Roman with size 10. Now what we have to do next is we just select all the labels that we added, then we drag, use the control key on the keyboard. So we have the second progress bar and this is the third progress bar. We can resize the user form if needed. And we just have to size and place them according to our preference. And let's say we would like to have different colors for each progress bar. We just have to change accordingly. So let's say we want to have different colors. So let's say blue for the second and the third for pink. So we already done designing their progress bar. Since we have 2 users forms here, to make sure that the progress bar able to show the progress, we have to make sure that the show model in the first user form is set to false. Remember to set to false. This is very important. And let's say we are not sure which user form to set is a must for us to set the show model to false, then we just have to set all of them. Show the show model, then it's easier. Don't have to think. User form, the show model, we set to false. Of course, we can change the caption of the user form as well. Let's say the caption we change to the progress, or we can write in progress. Now we can move on to the coding part. So we are going to insert the code in the command button of the first user form. The first thing we have to do here is to record all the numbers that are provided by the user. So we can make use of dummy to record value. So we have a equal to UserForm1 dot textbox1. What we need is the value. As we can see, as the name stated, text, which means that high chances that Excel will treat a as a text. To avoid this, we just have to put in front integer, and this must be a number. Then instead of using array, we just have to copy and make another 8 since we have altogether 9 text boxes. So we change to different dummies. So A, B, C, then D, E, F, G, H, and I. So to double check, we go back to UserForm1, we check that textbox 1, 2, and 7 under set 1. 3, 4, and 8 under set 2. So we should have for set 1, we make a simple reference set 1. Make use of apostrophe so that this is just a command, no need to run. And 1, 2, 7. And then we have set 2, supposed to be 3, 4, and 8. Then for set 3, we're supposed to have set 3. Supposed to have 5, 6, and 9. So altogether we have 9 text boxes. If let's say we want to generate the number in the sense of fully randomized, so which means that we have to consider what is the minimum among all this value and the maximum as well. Instead of generate the number based on the set, which means that finish the first set, then only we consider the second, then only we consider the third. Then this is meaningless for us to have so many progress bars here. So what we have to do here is we generate the number based on the minimum and the maximum among all these values, then let the Excel to decide which number is supposed to be. So we should have M to record the minimum. Then we make use of application dot worksheet function. The worksheet function dot worksheet function dot minimum. The minimum value will only appear among the lower limits of the range, which means that among A, D, and G, while the maximum will happen among the upper limits. So dot worksheet function dot max. The upper limits included B, E, and H. So what we have to do here is just generate the number based on this range. So we need another dummy K, B, minimum to maximum. So plus N minus M times random. So we want, let's say, be integer, so we use round without any decimal places. So what's the difference between round and integer? So integer always round the numbers down, round down the number. But what we want is round accordingly for this case. So we make use of round. If let's say we want to increase the randomness, then we just make use of randomize. As you can see, we will first call the user form, then we ask for numbers, then we generate, then we should show the second user form. So which means that after we recorded all the values, then nothing to do with user form 1 anymore. So user form 1 thought we should unload. So we have unload user form 1. Then now we should proceed to user form 2 dot show. We want to call user form. Now as we can see on the user form order, progress bar is halfway. So what we have to do for the second label, 5th, and 8th, we should reset. So we have user form 2 dot label 2 dot width, we reset. So make sure the width is equal to 0. And we just have to copy and paste. We don't have to make use of any for loop. So 2, 5, and 8. Double check. So we have 2 correct, 5 correct, 8 correct. So now we should proceed to the condition to decide which number is supposed to be for K. So K, if K is within the range A to B, so A less than equal to k less than equal to b. Although this is the way that we write mathematically to denote the range, but in Excel, if we write in this way, then high chances we will get the wrong result. Then what we have to do here is we write separately. So which means that k must be more than equal to a and must be less than equal to b. So this is the range. Then also we have to consider the frequency, because after we generated enough number, then we should stop. We shouldn't input again for set 1. So we need head count. So make use of another dummy. So let's say x less than c. We are not going to make use of less than equal, because if let's say we want to generate altogether 100 set 1 numbers. So for example, every time we will make head count. So x is equal to x plus 1. So when x is equal to 99, 99 is not enough. What we need is 100. So 99 is still less than 100. Then we will have 99 plus 1, which is now we already accumulate altogether 100 numbers. So if let's say we have 100 is equal to 100, then we generate again, then we will obtain 101, which is wrong. So we should stop at 100. So that's why we put 99, which is less than. Then, of course, we need to reset. Every time we have to initiate x with 0. After we make a head count, then what we have to do, input the value. Where should we input? Sheet1.cells. Start from the second row of column 1, since this set 1 number. But the number here, if let's say 0 plus 1 is 1, what we need is 2. So we should have 1 plus 1, so which means that x plus 1. Starting from the first column, what is the value? K that we generated. Then of course we need to update the progress bar. So UserForm to.label. We can refer to the UserForm 2, we need label 2 and 3 now. To check for the names of the controls, we refer to the name instead of the caption. Caption is the wording that we are going to display on top of the control. So we need the name instead of the caption. So we have label 2. Refer to the name. This is label 2. And this is label 3. And for this is label 6 instead of label 3. So we have label 2. Then what we need is the width. Update the width. That is equal to this width based on the number how many we already generated, which means that based on the frequency. So x over altogether we need is c. And then we should refer to the maximum width. So we refer to the white color label 300, which means that after we already finished generating, then we should stop at 300. So which means that we should times 300. Then of course we need to also displace the wording. So UserForm 2.label now should label 3. We want to displace, of course we will write caption. So caption is equal to x over c. This is in terms of ratio. If you want to in terms of 100%, then we times 100. And we can make use of ampersand to connect the width that we want. For example, percent completed. Instead of using completed, we can use how many percent left. So we can have, because we are using how many percent left, so we will want minus. This time we are going to use integer because we are going to round out instead of round accordingly. The purpose is, for example, if let's say we already completed 99.5%, 0.5, if round accordingly should round to get 100% completed, but we are still in progress, not finished yet. If let's say we show 100%, then still running is very awkward. So we have to round down. Then to make sure that Excel always displays what we want, then we use two events. So this is for the first progress bar. We just have to copy and paste for the second and third progress bar. So we have now K should be for the range T, E, and the frequency F. So we have T, E, and frequency F. Of course, we are not going to use X anymore because the X is the head count for the set one number. Now we should use the other dummy. So let's say Y. Y. And then should be in the second column since column B. And then X is Y now. C, the frequency is now F. So we have Y and F. So we already done all this. Remember, not this case, then should be else if. And we will copy again. Before that, remember to update the label. So this is label. We can check whether the syntax is correct. If let's say Excel able to display the function, which means that no issue. If Excel not able to display, for example, like this, dot, as we can see, nothing happened, which means that the syntax got problem. So we have to change immediately. So 2, 3. And what we need now is 5 and 6. 5 and 6. So we have UserForm 2 dot label 5 dot with. So label 5 and label 6. And done. So Y, D, E, F, Y, correct, Y, second column, Y, F, okay, done. Then we proceed to the last progress bar. So last progress bar, the range is G to H. So G to H with frequency I. Of course, we need to change the head count Z. So Z, Z, Z now is the third column. So Z, what is the frequency? I. Z. What is the frequency? I. Then what are the labels that we should refer? Label 8 and 9. So label 8 and 9. So we already done for the progress bar. Now we should think how should we run all over again in order for us to have enough frequency. So which means that we need loop. We are not going to use the conventional method, which means that we use for loop or do loop. We will just simply recall what we need. So we will call back this line. So randomize again. Now we should run again, generate a new number that we will check. If let's say this fulfill, then what to do? Go back to 1. So randomize again. Okay, we generate a new one. Okay, let's say this time the second condition fulfill. Then just one number not enough. And go back to 1 again until the frequency is enough for all the 3 sets. Then we should stop. So we need a function, a condition for us to check. So which means that x is equal to c. The frequency for x is correct. Then the frequency for y frequency is f, equal to f. And their frequency for z using I. Then what happened? If everything correct, then we can display a message box saying that we have done. Okay, of course, we show done already. Then we can close the user form and load user form 2. So make sure the syntax is correct. User form 2 correct. Then what we have to do here next is quit. So exit this project. So exit this sub. If let's say this one we done, but this one haven't, then if let's say we did not have anything to go back, then something wrong because not everybody done. Then we have to else go to 1. Then only we can end the process. So and if, because we start from if, then we should end with if. So the coding part is done. Now we should check the result. Now let's set the range. So let's say set 1 is 1 to 10 with frequency 50. Set 2 be 21 to 49, frequency 80. Set 3 be 41 to 500 with frequency 40. Now let's generate and see. So as we can see, done already 0% left, done already 0% left, done already 0% left. So show this done. Then when we click, unload the user form. So now we should check the range, see that is correct or not. So recall that for set 1, the range should be from 1 to 10. Altogether, what we need is 50 of them. Then for set 2 is 21 to 49. Altogether, we need 80 of them. Then the third one is 41 to 500. Altogether, we need 40 of them. So we check. So it's equal to the minimum, the set that we need. So we check. Minimum is 2. So within the range, correct. How about the maximum? So maximum, we check again. Also within the range. So correct. How about the frequency? So we count 50, exactly the same, so we are correct. Now we move to the second set, so equal to minimum as well. So we have the minimum is 21, so correct. How about the maximum? We should have 49, correct. So the head count, yes, again correct. So the last one equal to minimum 53, so within the range since the minimum is 41, but Excel generated with minimum 53 within the range, correct. So maximum within the range, correct. Then count. Yes, everything correct. So which means that we are correct. So we can run again, see how nice the progress bar able to run. So clear everything and we run again. Now this time we can generate for a big frequency. So 1 to 10 frequency, let's say 1000, and then 21 to 200 for example, and what we need is 2000, and then we need, let's say 400 to 600, and we need 1005. So we run and see how the progress bar going to be updated, as we can see. So this one done, done, and done. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you like this. See you.